statistics, we have populations and we have samples. Now, here's the difference between the two. So a population is a large group of people or things that I want to make some judgment about, some inference about. And a sample is a part of that population that I actually get to collect data on. Because let's imagine that I wanted to find out the favorite food of everybody on our school campus, including everyone who works there and everyone who goes to school there. Would it be realistic for me to ask every single elementary kid and every single teacher and every single middle school kid and every single high school kid, all of those kids and people, their favorite food, and then analyze that data? Well, of course not. That would be a lot of people. So that is the population. The population would be all of the students and faculty at our high school or at our school. The sample would be, okay, you know what? I want to find out the favorite food of all these kids. Why don't I just ask a sampling? I'll ask 50 from each school and maybe 50 of the teachers, and then I will assume that the population has a similar answer as my sample. So the sample is like a small group that you pull out of your whole population, and those are the people or the things you actually collect data on. So let's look at our examples and figure out what our populations are and what our samples are. So the first one with our threaded rods, the population is all of the threaded rods produced. And the sample would be the 40 threaded rods that we picked. So we are going to pick 40 threaded rods. We're going to test them. And the number that we get from those, we're just going to assume, if we did our tests right, that it applies to all of our population, even though we just tested the sample. So the DOT example, our population would be all of the cars that pass through the toll road, and our sample would be every 10th car that goes through, the ones that we actually took pictures of, because those are the ones we only collected data on, right? We didn't collect data on every car. We only collected data on every 10th car. So our population is every car that goes through, and our sample is every 10th car. The cardiologist, the population would be all of her patients, and the sample would be the 32 patients that they actually collected data on. The coffee shop manager, this example, the population would be all of the people who come into the coffee shop, and the sample would be the 25 people that they counted leaving. With the pollsters, the population would be all of the people in whatever district or country or whatever that they're voting in, and then the sample would be the 750 people that they actually asked. For the marriage counselor, it would be all of the couples that she's counseled, and the sample would be the 50 couples that she randomly picks. And then for my example, my population would be all of my students for all of time, and my sample would be the 45 students that I asked.